Hey, Jeff Munn, Creating Extraordinary Futures. I'm creating this video on a Sunday after the US presidential election. I'm reflecting on the election. This is going to be a post that is about the election, about the choices provided in the election, but it's not going to be political. I am not going to congratulate anyone or shame anyone. But what I am going to do is notice in this election in particular, it's been a trend over the years, but in this election in particular, there was not a choice that I felt was available to me that did not compromise a good chunk of my values. In other words, there was not a candidate who I could unhesitatingly vote for that represented who I wanted the president to be from a policy perspective, from a character perspective, from an experience perspective. And the thing that I was reflecting on was how seldom that is true in the rest of my life. So a lot of times we're walking through life and things appear as choices, right? Here's a fork in the road. You got to pick path A, you got to pick path B. You got to go to this college, you got to go to this college. You got to pick this job, you got to pick this job, this house, this spouse, etc., etc. And we buy into this idea that one of these choices is right and one of these choices is wrong. And what we don't recognize over and over again is we're making it up. There are no paths on the road. There are no fork in the road signs. It's an illusion. We think that there is somehow some intelligence laying out a right path and a wrong path, seeing if we're going to figure out which one is the right one and which one is the wrong one. We don't see instead that we're the ones creating the path and that we can create a different path. If you don't like the options, now this is true in an election too, in a larger sense, but in your life, if you don't like the options, find another option. Stop compromising, start creating. Stop being beholden to illusory choices and instead create a third way. See what you can create when you don't accept the choices that are available to you. I see this all the time when I'm talking to founders, when I'm thinking about how I want to build my business. If I'm not satisfied with what's available to me, almost always I can create something better. And almost always, as soon as I see the opportunity to create, it's effectively created. I can put it out there in the universe and something will show up that is exactly what is like the thing that I'm creating in my head. You have infinite creative capacity. You can create anything, including the illusion that you only have two choices. So play with that, see what that means to you, see what that brings up in you. For a lot of people, it brings up some resistance because they've created themselves as victims of a simplistic, dualistic, heads or tails kinds of system, and you're not. Take care, and I'll see you next time.